I gotta admit, the end of the Fever Mercury game made me sit up for a second because it got a little spicy with Caitlin Clark having an interaction with DeWanna Bonner out on the middle of the floor, sort of waving her back to the bench. I mean, the rest of the game was following a familiar script where the Fever fall behind and they fight back and they show the grit, but they lose to a team that has more talent than them at this point in time. But that interaction stood out to me for a couple of reasons. I mean, number one, obviously, is the history there, where DeWanna Bonner was on the Fever for a cup of coffee and then winds up on the Mercury.
Ladies and gentlemen, something shocking just came out of the Fever versus Mercury showdown. What if I told you the drama between Caitlin Clark and DeWanna Bonner wasn't just about one heated play? What if there was an entire hidden agenda, carefully protected by Stephanie White, and just exposed by Alyssa Thomas herself? Stay with me, because this story is about to shake women's basketball to its core. And hey, if you love the truth behind the game, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe right now. Because what you're about to hear, the mainstream won't tell you. The Fever versus Mercury game was supposed to be just another battle. But when Caitlin Clark clashed with a cameraman courtside and then got into it with DeWanna Bonner, things exploded. Now here's where it gets interesting. Bonner wasn't just reacting out of frustration. She was acting on something deeper, something bigger, because Alyssa Thomas, in a jaw-dropping moment, exposed exactly what's going on behind the scenes. Alyssa revealed that this wasn't just DeWanna Bonner going rogue. She hinted that Stephanie White, the head coach, may have been silently orchestrating all of this. Think about it. When Bonner went after Caitlin Clark, where was Stephanie White? Why was she so quiet? Almost as if she wanted this drama to unfold. And that's when Alyssa Thomas dropped the bomb.
Caitlin Clark told DeWanna Bonner, get your tall agenda having ass on down the court and out of my face. We will take a look at that. But before we get there, something very interesting has come out of this game, right? And of course, it was a loss to the Phoenix Mercury. It should be noted, it seems like half the damn team played for Stephanie White previously. No, just two important pieces. DeWanna Bonner, yeah, and of course, Alyssa Thomas.
Don't be fooled. This isn't just Bonner. This is Stephanie White's agenda. DeWanna Bonner tried to intimidate Caitlin Clark. She barked, she pointed, she got up in Clark's face. But Caitlin, she didn't lose her cool. No screaming, no panic, no meltdown. Instead, Clark looked Bonner dead in the eye and fired back with the one thing Bonner wasn't ready for: composure and truth. Clark said, "If you've got a problem, handle it on the court, not with cheap drama." The arena went silent. Fans were stunned. Bonner? For the first time, she looked shaken. Here's the strangest part. Stephanie White didn't step in. Not to calm Bonner, not to protect her player. She just sat there, silent, watching, almost as if this was part of her plan. And when reporters asked later, White dodged the questions. No explanation, no defense, nothing. That silence, it said more than words ever could.
Shows you right there the kind of moxie that Caitlin's still turning around. Like, what are you going to do? What you going to do? You ain't going to do nothing. The coaches did grab Caitlin and drag her on back. Yeah, right there. You got to go. Can you not get any more hurt? Please don't get any more hurt. I got to tell you, I understand this is a little vulgar, but fuck Bonner into the sun. That's funny. That is, I saw that quote. That's funny.
And Cece out on the middle of the floor, and Caitlin, basically, they were arguing about a foul call because Lexi Hull got called for a foul on Bonner. And Bonner is looking back here, as you can see. And Caitlin comes out on the floor. Basically looks like she's complaining to the refs, like she typically does. And then Bonner's mockingly doing the challenge symbol. And Caitlin sort of waves her back to the bench. And Bonner doesn't like that. Caitlin stands her ground.
This is where Alyssa Thomas enters the picture. According to insiders, Alyssa Thomas finally called it out. She's letting Bonner do her dirty work. Those words hit like a thunderclap because it confirmed what fans were whispering. This wasn't just Bonner picking a fight. This was a carefully protected agenda. And here's the kicker. DeWanna Bonner instantly regretted it. Why? Because Caitlin Clark didn't break. She didn't collapse under pressure. She stood her ground with millions watching. Now Bonner looks like the aggressor. Her image damaged, her reputation questioned, and all because Stephanie White wanted to play politics instead of basketball.
Great defense there by Hull. Copper tracks it down and bounces for Bonner, who had her shot blocked. And it's a shot clock violation. Bonner at the rim. Indiana has that 5-point lead mid-third.
Off the bounce.
Then you see Caitlin Clark to the right behind the coach coming out and jawing at DeWanna Bonner. DeWanna Bonner says, yeah, it was a foul. And Clark is saying, no foul. Yes, it was a foul. And
Fans exploded online. Some said Bonner crossed the line. Others demanded accountability from Stephanie White. But the loudest voices, they were praising Caitlin Clark. Finally, someone stood up to the nonsense. She's the real deal. Fearless, composed, unshaken. This is why Caitlin Clark is the future of the WNBA. This feud isn't just about one game. It's about a war of control inside the league. Veterans trying to test the rookie. Coaches staying silent while the fire burns. And yet Caitlin Clark refuses to bend. Every time they try to break her, she gets stronger. Every time they try to humiliate her, she answers with pure class. That's why Alyssa Thomas exposing Stephanie White's agenda matters so much. It's proof that this fight isn't just on the court, it's behind the curtain. So I want to hear from you. Do you think Stephanie White was really behind this? Or was Bonner just acting on her own? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, because this debate is about to heat up. And hey, if you're still watching, you're part of the real basketball family.
Defense, offense, we know everything they're about to do.
On both sides of the ball.
Okay, that's a problem. Alyssa Thomas told me statistically how much of an advantage it is playing against Stephanie White's scheme. Quote, we know everything they're about to do. Shit, I got a problem with that. Let me tell you. Stephanie White should be embarrassed bringing that old Connecticut Sun.
Smash that like button, subscribe, and join the movement. Caitlin Clark versus DeWanna Bonner wasn't just a feud, it was a test of composure, of truth, and of who really controls the game. Bonner picked the fight. Stephanie White stayed silent, but it was Caitlin Clark who walked away with the respect. And now, thanks to Alyssa Thomas, the truth is out. The question is, what happens next? Stay tuned, because this story is far from over.